But with that being said, let's go ahead and compare all these. Hey guys, so in this video we'll be going over where to get a logo for your Shopify stores, or really any e-commerce store that you do have, or how you can go about designing your own logo if you don't want to get a designer to make a logo for you. And of course this video applies for not just e-commerce but also local businesses as well. So really I'm going to be going over the steps that I take when it comes to creating a logo, or where I go when I want to make logos for my stores. And of course I haven't done this like hundreds of times. I've probably done it like 10 or so times, or a dozen, but in the times that I have done it, I definitely have learned a few things from creating these stores and stuff, so I can definitely give you guys some advice. So with that being said, I just want to jump into 3 things that I really want to remember when it comes to creating a logo. So the first thing is you want to make sure that your logo fits the overall aesthetic of your website. And what do I mean by aesthetic? Well, it's really the whole vibe, the whole feel to your store. So you don't want to make a logo, for example, if your store is basically based on the colors a light blue with a black text on a white background. If those are your 3 primary colors, that's fine. But what you don't want to do is you want to go out there and make a logo that's in a dark blue, or like a completely unrelated color like yellow, and put it on your website as your logo. Because it doesn't fit the overall aesthetic, it looks really unclean, and people won't be attracted to the website. So you always want to make sure that your logo and your website are like they flow with each other. They don't look really awkward next to each other, because of course logo is going to be shown on pretty much every single page on your website. So you want to make sure that it flows and fits in really nice. You don't want to make it stand out and just be repulsive and aesthetically unpleasing really. So what I did was pull up an example real quick of a website who tried to get their logo to kind of match the whole vibe with their store, and you can see that, you know, it's, other than the fact that it's like a super massive logo, really the logo does actually fit in with the colors. You know, they've got the light blue over here, which is the same shade of light, so kind of blue turquoise that they have on the logo, and they've got pink here on Mega, which is also the pink you see in the add to cart buttons, and at the very bottom here you've got the blue, you know, kind of matches the blue over here. And they tried to go for the two color kind of vibe, and they haven't nailed it really, but they have really got the idea. So this is what I mean by not having a logo that's completely unrelated, because of course let's say if they had this logo in yellow, it would look really, really bad. But at least it's somehow related. The blue here, and the pink over there. If this logo was way smaller, then it would probably look way better on the website, and I'm not sure I would keep this little floating shopping bag over here. But that's just my personal opinion. Really, I like to keep things really clean and don't go over the top with the logos. Just make it like a simple text, the name of your store, name of your business, and then you take one of those really cool fonts that you can find on the internet, and just edit your text with the font. And pretty much throughout the whole website you try to use that same font, or a similar variation of the font for all the text or the headings or the prices and stuff like that. But yeah, so I would say keep it clean, go easy with the logo, don't go over the top. I wouldn't really recommend this guy over here. I know loads of people put like icons on their logo, and sometimes it does look clean. You know, black and white it looks pretty clean with an icon. But I see some people put like a shopping cart in there, and it's like full of like loads of different colors. And I know from personal experience that's what I used to do, and logos look really bad. But really keeping it simple. Even the Shopify default logo, which is basically the text name of your store, that's pretty good in itself. I would obviously edit that, because I'm pretty sure loads of people just leave it like that, and it's like a norm to have a logo that kind of style. But really keep it easy, keep it simple. The text is fine. You don't need any other icons or anything on it. Of course, most of the big brands, they do spend like millions and millions on getting these logos done, and they have like really nice flicks here and like extra symbolism with this letter, or like this little icon that's hidden somewhere, which of course as a beginner you don't want to spend too much time working on or focusing on that at the beginning, at least. Obviously when you scale up your business, scale up your store, that can be more of a priority, but right off the bat it's not something that you should be focused on, unless that is like the really your logo is really like the core piece of your business, should I say. But yeah, so those are two rules. Another thing is make sure you know what your colors mean. For example, if you're running a store like a luxury glasses store or luxury something store, then you probably want to go after the color black, because black portrays confident and power. Sorry, elegance over here, power, control. So when you want to go for luxury feel, you tend to go for black. Of course, that doesn't mean that you have to go with black. Other brands like Gucci, who aren't luxury, they're pretty cheap, to be honest. But other brands like Pandora, they use black and white. So it's like this is like a kind of a general outline of what you're going for when you want the colors on your store to symbolize. For example, I'm pretty sure most of you guys know about one of my stores, which is a teeth whitening store, and the logo on the store is actually a light blue color, because light blue kind of first of all, light blue is actually one of the most relatable colors, because I think about 50% of the population say blue is their favorite color. But also, freedom, self-expression, trustworthy. So there are obviously like different meanings for these colors. I'm not sure how reliable some of these charts are. Like, some of these charts just randomly put in words in there. But there is some sort of meaning behind colors, which is true. So definitely, I would recommend checking out one of these charts. You just type in the psychology of colors into Google, and you'll find what each color means, really. But yeah, I would have a good look at that before you. I mean, if you haven't designed your website yet, then you can probably go read this first, and then maybe based off what you see over here and what you want your brand to be, what you want your store to be, then you can pick the color that you're gonna build the whole website around. But of course, if you do have a website already, then you shouldn't care about this. You should just make a logo that fits the existing aesthetic of the entire website. But those are like the three really quick points I wanted to go over. I just want to put up this logo as well, which is like one I randomly came across. In this logo, it doesn't really fit the overall aesthetic. They have like a random pink outline over here, and I don't know whose store this is, but hopefully they're not watching this video. But they just randomly have the pink up here, and it doesn't really fit in anywhere else. And of course, there's pink on the images, but the image is super low quality. It's definitely a different shade of pink. And then of course they have like all this text. Like, they have their Shopify store is candlequeencandles.com. So what I would do is get rid of this like Rolex thing over here. I don't know what that is. I'll get rid of all the outlines, get rid of the gift boutique, get rid of the website. Why? I'm not sure why people put their website URL inside the logo. It's pretty pointless. I mean, you have it right at the top here. You don't want to put it right there again. It makes absolutely no sense, especially because the only time you pretty much see the logo is if you're on the website. So it's not like this is going to help at all. But yeah, this is just a good example, or a bad example, but a good example to you guys of what you shouldn't be doing. If I were these people, I would just make the candle, Queen's candle, a black text, pink cool font they put on here, probably matching this font right over here. I'm not sure what font this is. Actually, one cool thing you can do is you can do a font search. So just copy text or take a screenshot of this text and put it into Google. And there's some websites that can identify what font type that is. So if you go into a website and you really like their font, I think Kylie Cosmetics has like some really cool font on her website. So if you want to know what the name of her font is, you go ahead, take a screenshot of her font, put into one of those Google searches. There's a few websites that do that, and then you can identify what the name of her font is. But yeah, this is just a good example I wanted to show you guys. But moving on, I wanted to tell you the three main places you can go to get a logo. And I've personally used all three of these places. So Fiverr, which is a pretty cheap option, Canva, Photoshop, and 99 Designs. So we'll start with Fiverr. And if you don't know what Fiverr is, it's basically websites where you can pretty much get a job done for Fiverr. So you can see I've ordered tons of stuff on Fiverr. This is my YouTube intro videos over here. But you can see like I've ordered loads of business logos from Fiverr, and they're only like £5, £7. £5.70. So it's pretty cheap, and these people are the people like I really recommend working with. But yeah, so here's one that I paid like $7 for, and it was for 5 professional logos. and I think I gave a tip of $1 or something, I'm not sure. But if you click on the logos, like, they're pretty high quality. Let me just download all of these and show it to you guys. This one didn't download, this one didn't download. But if you open them up, like, they're pretty good logos. Like, it's not something simple. But of course, some of these sellers, like, they live in India and stuff, so $7 to them is like 2 hours of work, so they can get you some really cool logo designs built. And of course, this is for my marketing agency ads, which hasn't launched yet, but it will do very soon. But yeah, as you see, they can make really cool logo designs for you, and they can also give you revisions as well for your work. So, like, let's say if you don't like this logo that they made over here, you can say, okay, I want this to be yellow instead of the blue. I want the text not to say Alex, I just want to say Digital Solutions. Or maybe just completely get rid of this and leave it as ads. Which, looking back, that's probably what I should have done. But yeah, you can basically tell these guys to do whatever you want, and it's pretty cheap. But yeah, so this was quite a while ago. Some of my recent ones. Let me go to like, let's see this one. This is a different seller. So there's loads of sellers on Fiverr. I don't recommend anyone in particular, but there's loads of really good ones. This person's actually really good. Let's see. If I was to recommend anyone, it would be these people, because they're really reliable. They can get really fast delivery as well, and I'm pretty sure this is like a team of Indians doing the logos. So that's pretty cool. But you need to, let me show you guys some of these logos. This cost $7, and look how many logos they made for me. It's pretty remarkable what these guys can do, and it saves you all the headache or the headache it might cost you really when it comes to designing logos. I really like this one over here. Yeah, you can easily get logos done quickly with Fiverr people, and you can typically place an order one day. Let me see when I placed this order. I placed it on the 17th, and they delivered on the 19th. Now, delivered on the 18th, and then I got a revision and they delivered on the 19th. So that's pretty impressive speed. If you were doing it on yourself, you probably end up like spending days on it, because you want to be like a perfectionist, and you never really get stuff done. So if you want to go to Fiverr, it's something I really recommend for getting a really clean logo. And some people might say that this logo looks no one will guess that this logo was cost of Fiverr to design. Like, you could build like $1 billion business from this logo. Like, why not? Because it's pretty good in itself. So just because most brands spend billions of dollars to get a really cool logo, that doesn't mean you need to do that. Of course, I'm not saying that you should use a Fiverr logo to like build $1 billion business. But like, these logos are pretty good, so don't think that if it's a Fiverr it'll be cheap quality, really rubbish. These Indians can't do anything. No, these Indians are really cool, and they can make some really cool logos for you guys. So that's at least the first place that I would go, Fiverr. And then there's Canva and Photoshop. So I recently did get Photoshop, but I'm not really like a Photoshop type of person. I don't really like it. I might get it again though. Might be useful. But Canva is a really cool place to make a logo. Of course, most people have got this thing where they have to be perfectionists, and they never actually end up getting the logo done. But I guess that's just, you have to know yourself. If you think you'll never get the logo done, if you do it by yourself, then you just literally give it to someone on Fiverr. But I know I'm not really much of a perfectionist. I just want things done fast, and obviously I like quality, but I don't spend too much time focusing on it. But Canva's really easy to do. Let me go right back to the beginning. All you need to do is pick the dimensions you want your logo to be. So typically on the Shopify store, let me go to a Shopify store. Let's go to Fashion Nova. I don't know why that's my first example. But normally the logo is right on the top over here. So you want to make sure the logo is like this exact dimensions. So whatever this dimension is on your website, you just want to make sure that's your dimensions, and then you want to. So for example, these dimensions are 3,200 by 1,000, which is basically the dimensions on the top of the website. And so all I would do is just type it into Canva right over here, and click design, and it will pull up a template. And Canva is free, by the way, which is awesome. All it requires is your time, which is probably more valuable than $7 you can give it to someone else to do. I think it's actually cheaper for people in America, but I have to pay conversion, so it comes out to more than that. But really, it's pretty simple to do. Simple website. So let's start from scratch because I don't want to have this over here. All you need to do first of all is, if you want to design on a plain white background, perfectly fine. You can just go ahead, drag text. So let's say if your logo is for a clothing brand, I have no idea why this popped into my head. But let's say if the brand was called like Few York, not New York, but just Few York. All I would do was first of all find a really cool font for your website, and some of these do actually cost money. So you need to like be aware that you don't use one of the ones that cost money, or they'll charge you. But I'm actually paying for Canva, so I have the ability to use some of these fonts. Well, I think I am at least. So I can use any of these fonts. So you can just stick to the free fonts if you don't want to pay for Canva. But I'm pretty sure it's free for 30 days. So you can go ahead, start the subscription, and just cancel it if you don't like it. But personally, I use Canva quite a bit, so I have the subscription ongoing. But all I'm looking for is something that I think will match the aesthetic of my clothing brand. Or let's say if you have already designed a website and you have a font that like appears on your headings, your body text, your descriptions, then you want to go ahead and see if the same font is on Canva. If not, then you just want to see if you can find a new font on Canva, and then you can also get on Shopify as well. So like something like this, pretty cool. Maybe I'll put like Few York, and then I would do something like Element. And this is like really easy to navigate website, so I don't want to like baby explain it to you, everyone. Like only a few minutes of just playing around with it, and you'll get the whole gist of it. But I can just do something like this, like Few York, and then apparel. I'm not sure how to spell apparel. And just like that, you've built your $1 billion clothing brand logo, just like that. And then you want to make sure it fits the whole thing. So I would go ahead, drag it out here, and drag it out. And basically, the bigger you make your logo, the higher quality the file size would be. Because if you're on the Canva free plan, then you have to download everything in JPEG. And if you do in JPEG, like the quality really sucks. But if you do it in like PDF or PNG, then it's like really high quality. You can get transparent images, which is ideally what you're looking for, because essentially when you have a high quality image, no matter how far you zoom in into the logo, the quality doesn't change. So if I pull up one of my logos over here, actually, let me pull up this logo. No, not this. So this is one of the logos for the current stores that I'm running. Just pull it up. Did I close it? Maybe I close it. But essentially, let me do it with this one. So no matter how much I zoom in, the quality of the logo should not decrease. But obviously this one it does, which means it's not a this is a JPEG. Because it's a JPEG, the quality of the file is super bad when you zoom in. So if I zoom into one of the text over here, let's go down. You see, the more I zoom in, the more blurry it gets, which is really not what you want. Let's say if your logo is being displayed on a big screen, then it will look really blurry and pixelated. But if it's a PNG, so let me see if I have a PNG here. This is a PNG. You can see no matter how much I should, let me actually pull up my PDF. Sorry, let me get it right over here. Yep, so this is the logo for my current store, and this is a PDF format. So no matter how much you zoom in, you see the quality of the logo does not change regardless, because this is a PDF format, so the quality doesn't drop no matter how much you zoom in. So this is ideally what you're looking for. So on Canva, if you're using the free version, you can't get this quality, but if you're using the paid version, then you can. So 30 days free trial, you might as well get it. But really, that's how simple it was. All I needed to do was find a good font, and then just really simply just edit this out. I mean, you can pretty much change it to whatever you want it to be. So let's say something like this. Few York. This is more like a golf brand, I think. But yeah, it's it's pretty cool to just play around with this. You can get something really nice looking very fast. New York, I kind of like that. That's kind of like a beach vibe. Oh, it's called a beach resort. So yeah, if you're like a beach brand, I don't know any cities near the beach in America. Um, uh, I don't know any cities or states. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. You just go ahead and pull up a blank template. Obviously, if you want to change your background, if your site's black on white instead of white and black, which is rare, but all you need to do is pretty much you can go to elements, and you just need to select on a square. Sorry, go ahead and let it fill the whole of the background. This isn't the easiest way to do it, but you just need to change this to black, and you pick position backwards, put this at the very back, and then change the color of everything else to white. Very simple to do. It's pretty straightforward. Should be able to figure it out on yourself. But yeah, I'm just doing it for you guys. But yeah, so you can make your logo look like this. Of course, you want the like a yellow background. You can make it look like that, which hurts my eyes so much. Blue, green, purple, just whatever aesthetic you're looking for. This looks quite good actually. But yeah, it's pretty easy to customize in Canva. And as long as you're not like a perfectionist and you don't spend hours doing this, like if it was me, I know if I was starting a brand called Few York, Few York Apparel, then I would literally spend 2 minutes on the logo and just move on. If you saw my 7-day challenge video, I spent like less than, I don't know, 60 seconds making a logo, and then I just moved on. So it's pretty straightforward at making a logo with Canva. But of course, there's those people who like would spend like hours going for every single font, analyzing. But that's not me. I like this. I'll take it. But yeah, that's a second way to do it. So that took a bit longer than expected. But the third way is from 99 Designs, and this website right over here. If you haven't heard of 99 Designs, it's basically a website. It's kind of like a marketplace where designers kind of what's the right word? It's kind of a competition between designers to see who has the best design really, and whoever has the best design gets paid. For example, let's say me, you, we're designers, and let's say your mum as well. She's a designer, and there's a client, let's say it's your dad, and your dad wants a logo, and he goes to this website called 99 Designs. He basically says, hey, I want a logo. He clicks get started, and this is quite expensive, by the way. I think this logo right over here, let me pull it up. It was this PDF one. Yeah, this is the logo for one of my main stores at the moment, and this costs around $300 just to get this logo. And if all you've noticed, like the only thing about this logo is like this little cool end slash over here, and like this heart or bunny ears right over here. But yeah, these logos are kind of expensive because these designers need to pay their bills. But essentially what says, what you do is your dad would come here, click logo design or any of these other options. They would say what they want, and then me, you, and your mum would go like, hey, here are some design ideas, and then we go ahead and make designs, and then your dad would go like, hey, I like Alex, I like your design, I'm going to pay you for your design, and then you completely reject everyone else's, you pick mine, and then I give you the files and all that kind of stuff. So it's basically like dozens and dozens of designers competing. Whoever has the best logo wins really. So I don't know, it's kind of like a video game style website, I guess. The best logo wins. And you only, like, the great thing about this is if you're spending like £239 pounds on this, or $300, then there will definitely be designers who spend like hours and hours trying to get you a really good logo, and then you would end up with like a ton of really good options to select from. So even if it costs a lot, in my opinion, it's worth it because you find something that someone probably spent a lot of time doing, or someone like had a really good idea behind it, and you definitely get something that's worth $300 in my opinion. You can't exactly work out the value of a logo, not really. But in my opinion, this is like a really good website if you have a decent budget and you don't want to go cheap with Canva, which honestly, like, you can build like $1 billion brand with a Canva logo. Maybe, I'm not sure. I haven't done it. I will do soon. But yeah, 99 Designs is also really cool for making a really nice logo design. Again, here's from their quality. Bunny care. If I was to recreate this exact same design on Canva, let me show you what it would look like. And actually, let me see if I can show you the original bunny care logo, which we got on Fiverr. Let me see if I can pull it up. Okay, so I pretty much just went through all the files to find the old bunny care logo, and if you look at this, this is what we got from Fiverr, because it's Fiverr, of course. It had an actual bunny in it, and then it said bunny care with blue, pink and blue. But over here we got this really nice, clean, just a little bit of pink there, not really a bunny anywhere. Like I said, no icons. I just kept it really clean. These are 99 Design people, of course. They kept it really clean, and in my opinion, I think this logo is way better than the old logo with the bunny. And of course, this was actually the quality of the logo we were sent on Fiverr. It wasn't HD or anything. It wasn't the PDF. I think you only get the PDF from Canva or from 99 Designs. You don't tend to get it from Fiverr. Best you get from Fiverr is a PNG, which is pretty high quality still, but of course not the best. So that's kind of what I got from Fiverr. And let me go create one on Canva right now and show you what's the best I can come up with. Okay, so I pretty much just wrapped up designing this really cool, funny looking logo on Canva, and it took me a couple of minutes to find the font, and that was pretty much it. But yeah, I would be more than happy to actually like have this logo live on a website, to be honest with you. But with that being said, let's go ahead and compare all these. So right over here is Canva, about 5 minutes of work, and during that time, I got a drink as well. So 5 minutes of work here. This one I paid $7 for, and this one, these two technically, were 300. I think it was 320 at the time, $320. But yeah, you decide. I mean, Canva, no real meaning behind it, just some cool font that you can easily customize. Like I could change this to whatever I want it to be. I had a few other options like this. Canva, you can change it up to whatever you want to be, but of course there's no real meaning behind any of these. It's just like whatever you think looks nice, which you can stick with. But of course for 99 Designs, one, you have some sort of meaning behind the logo. Like if you think about it very carefully, over here more than just a love heart, it's actually the bunny's ears, which is actually kind of a creative way to portray the message. Bunny, and then there's bunny in there. It was kind of cool. And then this is just a Fiverr one, pretty basic Indian logic. They just typed in bunny into Google, they got the stock image, or they probably bought the stock image, they had it previously, and then they just typed in bunny care, and bam, that was that. So you decide. Personally, I would pick 99 Designs, but I'm more than happy to create a store and just off the bat use a Canva design. Fiverr, yeah, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's like this wasn't the one their best, but you can definitely get something super high quality from Fiverr. But yeah, that just pretty much wraps up the video. I compared all three of these. I gave you some of my tips when it comes to logo creation, how to go about it. And yeah, so I hope you did enjoy the video. Make sure to leave a like if you did. Subscribe to the channel. We're posting awesome entrepreneur content and some more dope stuff coming pretty soon as well. So with that being said, I really hope you did enjoy, you learned a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to subscribe.